Just spray it all the front and then pick it up a little bit and spray it in between them.
There it is. I was wondering if he was going to notice that.
Oh boy, I love it when I see a level on top of a box like that. Our homeowner Ramel has decided that she would like to have the possibility to add a generator later to this house. And what we're gonna do now to make that easy for her is to install this generator transfer switch. And what it does is it switches where the power coming into the house comes from, whether it comes from the Duke Energy power grid or whether it comes from her generator, without the generator being able to backfeed electricity into the power grid if the grid is off. Power can travel very far if you're backfeeding the system, and it poses a very real danger to anybody that's working on the system. So they would have to constantly be metering or checking to make sure that there's not any power coming from generators. I'm sure they're smart enough to check for that, but it's still a huge hazard that we want to avoid. We are kind of bouncing around a bunch today, doing a bunch of random things, one of which is putting in another door. And we're about to cut the siding back now, where we had brought the siding in close to the opening, knowing that we didn't have the door to install. Now it's time to cut it back. Jono is making some marks here. That is actually the tight cut, and so we need to have a little bit of room for the sealant around this piece of trim. So I'm gonna overcut it outside of that line by a little bit over 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16 of an inch. I gotta say, this is one of my least favorite things to do, having to make cuts like this, and you probably wouldn't enjoy it either. But here's a couple of tips that'll help make it easier. One is to have really good marks that are easy to see. We used a fine point Sharpie, all right? So there is no question where is the line. I know exactly, I can see it very easily. The other thing is to take your time. Just do it slow enough that it's not too stressful. And then also, don't try to do more with a tool that's not convenient to do anything with. Like this saw, I can't get to the very top, I can't get to the very bottom. Don't worry, I'm gonna switch to a different tool, the little oscillating tool. That makes super easy work of these hard to reach places, so just can't be in a big hurry. It becomes stressful because if I mess up, I've got to pull all this painted siding off and replace it. I mean, or you do.
I had to pull it off.
I don't want to see you have to do that. Come on.
Yeah, take your time, bub.
The electricians are wrapping up here, and really we're wrapping up what we can do until all the mechanicals are done. We come back to paint drywall, but I do want to highlight one thing we have overlooked so far, and that is the work that's been done to make all this mechanical stuff come out in the right place.
It's a little bit of behind the scenes kind of work because it's not really that exciting, you know? It's not like framing a house or digging a foundation with a machine. So that's why it doesn't get as much airtime. But I think we should talk about it because it's important.
Double Shades is going to tell you more about this kitchen.
All right, here we go. I usually have 3 or 4 pairs.
You know, I got you a pair of shades that's like half tint. That's not them.
Really?
From High Specs.
Okay.
I think I might have...
How do they look?
Okay.
All right. For starters, this kitchen has over 20 electrical connections, and they're all placed in very specific places, and they all have very specific types of, wire and breakers that go to each one because they have to meet certain needs of this very specific house. Now, it would be nice if you just built the house over and over, the same plan. You would know this very good, but we don't do that. We never.
We also don't have an electrical plan.
We don't. The architect just didn't go to that degree, or the homeowner didn't want to go to that degree with the architect of having the mechanical plans, electrical, all that stuff. So we have to make it up on site, and it takes a lot of time and planning, right? And there's even special information that I don't know that the electricians know about their codes. They are experts at that. I am not. The plumber, same thing for him. And also the heating and air guy. He has to do some stuff for me in here, like the venting for the hood, and also the venting in the floor that is placed very specifically around the cabinetry to get the best, what's the word? The best performance out of that system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think they get it. There's lots of stuff. So
all right.
What's the consequence if any of this stuff doesn't turn out right?
Well, I think most people could guess the consequence is when you get drywall done, you get it painted, you start setting cabinets, and the cabinet covers an outlet. Or, I have a device here that doesn't have power. Or you put it there and then the drywall guys and the insulators covered it. And it is there, but you can't find it. So you start destroying, you start taking drywall out is what you do. So what we want to avoid, of course, is doing remodeling at the very end of the house. We don't want to cut drywall out. We don't want to be fishing wires.
Or failing inspection because something isn't there, like an outlet that's needed for code.
That's
just
right.
Doesn't exist.
Not only would you look like an idiot, which I'm pretty good at, but your homeowner's going to be like, oh, this is costing me more money because you screwed up, right? It kind of is, it looks bad on me, and it would, worse than that, it would cost a lot of money to be calling in the electrician to redo stuff.
There wasn't an electrical plan, so I think in this case, trying to figure it out, scrambling on the fly, talking to 4 different tradespeople all at once.
Yeah, I agree.
There is a chance you could make some sort of an error somewhere.
Definitely. And this is a small house. Like, what is it, 1,200 feet or something?
Yeah.
I don't even know. This house is so small. Like, if you had a massive house.
Yes.
I mean,
other systems, and there's not every type of system that is possible in this kitchen.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is the level of complexity here, it seems high, at least to me, but this is small and simple. So things could just go to the moon from here. And we live in a place where, everybody's kind of friends.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed this. All right. Hey, come back. I'll come back for you. But hey, if it's like big city stuff and people don't want to fool with you and they don't, I don't know.
Well, here's what happens with the level of complexity going up on bigger jobs like this. You have more people that are in charge of the same thing. Like you break it down smaller. You might have someone just in charge of the kitchen.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it.
We had a guy on the channel a couple years ago. He was an architect, or he was in school to become an architect. Yep. And now I found out that he works for an electrical firm of some kind, a designing firm. And I bet you he does like all the stuff that we're talking about that we don't do, is like actually planning from the beginning in the design of the home, all the placement of the lights, what they're going to look like.
Even moving framing members to be in the right place for other utilities, which we standardly don't do.
Pretty much never. Because, hey, I didn't even know where the lights are going to go until like yesterday.
Yeah.
How would we know when we frame the house? We would never know. You would see actually in the pendants over the bar, there's 2 regular, like deep kind of light boxes.
Yeah, and then pancake.
One pancake, because it falls right on the center of a truss. So what do you do about that? You can't cut the truss.
We could.
Well, shouldn't.
Okay,
Gosh. Something that's really helpful, and I would say almost required to do a really good, accurate job of placing all the equipment and all the utilities that the equipment requires, is to actually go ahead and buy that equipment, the very specific make and model that you're going to use. For the vent hood, for example, I brought it in right here. It's a little dangerous because this has finished parts and I don't want it to get smashed up, but I drew it out on the wall exactly the shape and size that it is. I had the instructions here for myself and for the other trades. And the oven, I have the exact oven. We have the exact washer and dryer because the placement of where the vent goes out of the dryer is a specific thing that I'm trying to accommodate. So they could change that in the future and it may not work out great, but it needs to work out when I leave,
As expected, that was a lot of information, but I did want to give Jamie a chance to at least describe what he's been up to and all the things that he's been doing a very good job at getting accomplished to make sure that we don't get to the end of the job and fail inspection or start cutting out drywall and having to patch it and repaint it and costing extra money and time. So we do appreciate that. I'm glad I didn't do it on this job. I just really don't love doing that kind of stuff because it's just tedious and not that exciting. I'm more of like a bang for your buck guy. Like I want to be climbing on the roof or like, stuff like that.
I'm happy for you. That sounds fun. What are you talking about? Like working? Like physically working, building something? I have done the least amount of physical labor on this house of any house ever in 20 years. Seriously. Not even joking. I do miss it actually a little bit. I'd like to do something.
Let's do it.
Get my tool belt on.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and here's the problem. I just typed in your phone number in a web browser right here. I'm gonna cover it so I don't get the results. But instantly, I got your phone number very easily, your cell phone number even. I also got your address, which is also my address, like instantly. And so all this information is just floating around way easier to access than I would like, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah, seems to be that way. It's a little scary.
Maybe I should see what other dirt I can find on my wife real quick. And I'm guessing that spammers are getting my phone number just as easily because I get so many spam calls. Like half the numbers that I don't know who it is calling, spam call. So today I just got started with Aura. They're gonna submit opt-out requests on my behalf to data brokers that are selling my information and making a fortune off of it. And evidently brokers are legally required to remove my information if I ask them to do it, but they make it super hard to do, and that's why I'm gonna let Aura handle it for me. Aura also does a lot more without having to download a bunch of different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, which is a virtual private network, and password management, identity theft insurance, and more. And I can get everything at one affordable price. I'm gonna let Aura do the hard work of keeping me safe online, and my whole life is online. My business, it's how I make a living, so it's really important to me. I wanna be able to rest easy and know that I'm protected. So this problem is not going away. People are gonna continue to exploit and make a profit off your private information, or you can head to aura.com/Perkins. There's a link down in our video description, and you'll get a free 2-week trial so you can check it out, see the benefits. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring our video, keeping me safe online. Let's get back to work.
All right, another thing I've been doing you probably don't even know about is planning for the gutters. I've been on the phone with the gutter guy, talking to the homeowner, picking colors, and it takes probably an hour just to discuss where are the downspouts gonna go. And when they go there, what are you gonna do with the water once it gets to the ground, right? So we have to have a plan of where the pipes are gonna go, where it's gonna drain out to daylight, and how much water is going in each downspout to be able to figure out, what we need to do to accommodate it. Some of them don't have a lot of water at all. Like this one on the front porch, for example, since we're standing here, it's about a 10-foot by 10-foot area going to one gutter and one downspout. And it's not a really good place to put a downspout because we don't want to see one visually, but we can put a rain chain in it. It just looks like we made an accent, but actually it's just more like an accident that we can't figure out how to put a real downspout. So we're thinking we're gonna put a little pot there. I'm actually gonna drill a hole in the bottom of it and put a 4-inch PVC, drain it out to daylight, so it just looks like it goes into a bucket.
Jonathan, all right?
But
You gotta...
I have not seen him smile like this in weeks. Look at the smile on his face.
He was loving that, the whole walking thing and just letting him go, dude. He was loving that.
Yes. All right, we're done. We are done.
well, I wasn't done yet. I'm not done talking yet.
We're done.
Well, who's gonna do all this work? I mean, I'm not gonna do it. I don't have a machine to dig the downspout gutter drains into daylight, into the woods, and so I gotta be calling people and telling people what we need and how much pipe it's gonna take and where it's gonna go and when is it gonna be ready. Who's getting here first, the gutter guy or the guy that's gonna dig it in, right? So I have to know all this stuff.
As I mentioned probably hours ago in this video before we were talking to Jamie, we're wrapping it up. One of the things is we don't have a front door to kind of keep the heat in as the trades are going or drywallers or whatever. We don't want to put the finished final door in here, right? Because
I don't.
What'll happen is it'll get destroyed. Like we've tried time and time again to put the final door in and be like, people will be nice to this door. It'll be okay. It won't get messed up. And then you know what? It gets messed up. So we've got this door, which isn't even the right size, and we've just framed in, beautiful job, to make it fit. And that can shut and lock and be there until we're done with all the messy stuff.
Look at this, we can run cords under the door. See?
Oh yeah,
All right.
that's important.
You put the finished door in, somebody's gonna throw some cords or some air hoses and then slam the door. There goes your seal on the bottom of the door. You know how hard they are to replace?
They're not easy.
It's terrible. Plus the thresholds, they always get smashed up.
Yeah, who is it?
Yo, it's me.
Who's me?
Housekeeping.
Let me in, guy.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Ray. I'll shield you. I don't let other people spray much, but I know it's killing me to watch you, but
You can do it.
I mean,
You can do it.
how else you gonna get good if I don't let you ever do it?
Hey, that's what.
Yeah, 90 keeper. Yeah. I'm giving Ray all the tips here. Yeah, if you don't keep her 90 and you flip out at the end, Dude, it'll go like a mile down the wall. Okay. Got that moped revving up, boys. This is a lot nicer with a person holding this shield, I'll tell you that much. A little slower. There it is, yeah. Brushy. A little brushy there.
If you want to switch, it's probably go faster. I don't want
It probably would. Yeah, let's just do
If you
it.
took this, not too bad. It'd probably go faster.
That's actually true. Here, hey, do it.
No, Jason, no, seriously, you're terrible at brushing. You're good at holding this thing.
All right, now.
I mean, no offense to you.
We're all in our position.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
take that right there. You're great at holding that, but you suck at brushing.
Yeah.
All
All right.
I had to kick him off.
Shield,
The other day.
shield me up. There you go. All right, now we're on it. Oh man, this feels so good now. It's amazing. You don't really want to paint, but until you see someone else doing it, you're like, yes, I do want to paint. Yeah. Slide her up. You don't have much experience spraying, you said?
I don't
Oh,
at all.
I wonder why. Okay, this little part right here is going to be pretty hard work for you. So it is nice when we can get paint done before any of this happens, but it didn't happen just on this one side. I'm trying to make it sound better.
I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Jamie does have a little pack of art brushes. We may just have to literally just half-inch wide brush. Just it's going to take 20 minutes. What's under there?
Nothing. Shut your camera off.
What is it?
Nothing. Ray threw up. He didn't feel good. Shut up, Ray. Don't you think you should let Ray keep practicing there with the sprayer?
Well, I was going to, but like as a med student, they don't freaking stick you on face surgery immediately.
Here you go, Bill.
You got to practice on a dummy or something. This is the front of the house right here, right where they're gonna see. So I had to just sit the bench.
pissed.
Ray.
Ray, sit the bench. Dude, there's his coaching coming back out. Ray, you're out. I'm in.
He's good at cutting though. Look at this.
I love those backhanded comments he gives you. You suck at spraying, but you're great at cutting, Ray. Lunch.
So the electricians just finished up and left, and Jamie just noticed that they're gonna fail their inspection on one thing.
Man, oh
Right
man.
there, there's no fire foam in that one hole. And I wonder, was that on purpose, do you think? Just the little distraction?
It could have been a
hey, fix that
distraction.
fire foam and
like
you're
a
good?
decoy almost. I don't know. We'll
Either
see.
way, let's call Nate and just tell him, just so he's aware.
I'll foam it. I'll do it.
Did they leave it?
No.
Oh.
I was just noticing this new looking box here. I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, they don't have to knock anything out. It just sort of bends down easier, it looks like.
Yeah, that's something else.
It's probably
guess.
20 years old. We've just never seen it.
I guess it's fiberglass.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. They're also using these wire organizers on the top of these big gain boxes right here and right here. So they don't have to staple all of them. Keep it nice and neat and organized.
Yep, that's right. And they don't want to go side by side because the closer the wire is to
Yes.
the surface where drywall screws or nails could hit the wires, they really want to keep them centered as best as possible.
Metal shavings.
Are you ready?
You're ready.
I'm not ready. Jono and I have just completed the last sections of the track for the screened-in porch, and it was the most frustrating thing I've done in a long time. It's just doing like this, and I'm leaning out. Well, it just was super slow on ladders. The screw wouldn't stay in the bit. They kept falling off down in the woods. I learned some new words from Jono. I'll tell you about that later. Yeah. And I think we're going to install this screen. So I was thinking all hands on deck. Yeah, guy, you try this out. Okay. let's all do this because this is going to suck. It's the maximum.
Ray and I did it for
No,
40,
the screening.
40 minutes yesterday.
The screening. You've done none of the
No, I've
screening.
done none of the screening. I
Yeah,
got
it
you.
sucks. It's terrible. You too.
Well, when you said everybody, I thought maybe I would be excluded, because I'm kind of busy right now organizing my truck. I'm just going to get this out.
Eric's corner is going to be minimal.
Yeah, it's going to barely be enough.
No.
Oh no!
What was that? Hey, this beam too is like super slick, so
Oh yeah.
if you're leaning on it, don't count on it being too grippy. Okay. Drop, drop, drop. Hope it's not much more.
No, you need to go down. You have to have as minimal as you can get up there.
Pull, 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 pull. Okay, we're getting. Oh, hold.
Too far.
Wow. All right, we'll check back in about an hour.
Are you supposed to put the whole bottom on first?
Well, you're supposed to put the whole top on first, but as long as we do bottom, then top. I don't want to rush you guys, but my arms are about to fall off.
Dude, seriously.
I think we did it. That was like a half hour of madness, but we got all the wrinkles out. It fit. We just got to trim it without cutting it by accident. That is it for the outside finish of this project. Another one in the books, thankfully. So we got a little time to kill, a little downtime. So we're gonna do our usual tweener projects, which is just short for in between, tweener. We're gonna head to my house and hopefully build an awesome fire pit by getting rid of this koi pond / waterfall area that's in disrepair and overgrown. Turn it into something useful for me, a nice fire pit hangout area. We're gonna film that, of course. And then the big project is gonna be to build an office at my house, a big one, a nice one, big enough to have like our workout equipment in there as well, and a bathroom, just kind of a way to get out of this, kitchen area that everybody is in and out of while I'm trying to do stuff like this. So we're gonna film that as well. I'm gonna build it underneath the waterproof deck that we did in a previous video series. That's gonna be the roof. So we'll see what the inspectors have to say about that. That's kind of I don't know, it's just different, so we'll just see. Also, make sure to check out PerkinsBuilderBelt.com. That's where we sell the tool belts that we wear and design. And now there's tons of really cool accessories available. Some you may have never even seen in your life before. So make sure to check that out. And thanks for building with us. We will see you on the next one.